Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Can you see me and hear me? And is this too close? Like, is this too much of my face in your face? Let me know. You can see me and hear me, right? I don't want a repeat of the other day where I just talked to myself. Thank you, love. All right. Thank you, Lorna. All right, let's get started. Is this on mute? Yeah, it is. Okay. The more I try to create physical boundaries from certain people, the more they show up. Why does that happen? And what are JH and BP's intention towards me? Your self-love is being tested. Like, we really learn the lesson when we reinforce the wisdom attained from it. Intentions seems to be to communicate in order to figure out how to bring something to some kind of ending or cycle. It's like I'm trying to get the answers, I guess is how I'd word that. Excuse me. I might have to change this playlist. Will my mom's job be safe during this federal funding cut? I'm getting that she'll be sent home in October. It does feel like Page of Swords is that cut that leads to Temperance in reverse imbalance. You may have a little bit more time than October. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. I feel like May may be more of an accurate time frame. But it doesn't feel like a final thing, if that makes sense. Like a temporary shifting of funds, I guess. I don't know how to word that. What immediate actions should I take that will be the most beneficial for me financially? What can you cut out? What can you release? And where's your energy being spent that... I don't know, it's like there's some kind of thing that would require additional effort, but your energy is being spent somewhere where it's being kind of wasted. I guess it's like getting a little bit more selfish with your time in that regard, but it feels like the first thing is where can you cut things out? Why doesn't my sister want me to go on the girl trip? Why does she feel the way she feels about me? Why doesn't she want you to go? I don't want to have to watch what I say. Why does she feel the way she does about you? It's not about you. It's a projection. You highlight what I feel is wrong about me, so I convince myself that that's what's wrong about you. It's not you. What is my current energy in a song? The Reason by Hoobastank. I have a different playlist on. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue learning. A new beginning is the bridge between planning and action. So it feels like this is kind of a message of the balls in your court. Right now, you're being presented with the opportunity to shift energy. What do you want to shift it into? It's time to realize that you've outgrown the current lesson, I guess is how I want to word that. General message and a token. Oh, I thought the light was literally that bright. Thank you, token. Let's see. Thank you feels to be coming from your higher self. Thank you for what? Upholding boundaries even when your mind tried to convince you otherwise. You've passed this lesson of downgrading your self-worth, and which would disconnect you from your intuition. So their higher self. So your higher self is like, thank you for upholding boundaries. Now we can stay on the same radio station, if that makes sense. Really going, where did my whole screen just go? Really going through it this week and doing soul work. Message from my husband. Let's see. You Will Find Me by Alex and Sierra is the one on the bottom of the deck for the song. Message from your husband. The path ahead of you has more support than you realize. A banana. Why does that give me the image of Mario Kart? Like that one level where he's like driving on the rainbow. Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. More support than you realize. Driving on the rainbow. It's like part of your mind has convinced you that there's this one piece that you can't handle without external support. So you're approaching it from almost like a little bit of resistance. And I almost feel like the message is to ease into it in terms of like doing soul work and kind of what you feel in going through it. Those emotions are like signposts. They're trying to lead you towards what needs to be just eased into instead of held off until you get the external support that you feel like you need that you don't. And the King of Cups or the King of Hearts was on the bottom as well. What I want you to remember about me is the love and that love is the legacy I leave behind. I feel like the message kind of is letting yourself sit with it is the next step forward on self-love, not shying away from that shadow, knowing that you yourself can handle it. Okay, thank you, Lucky. I'm not too close. That's good. That's good. A message from my guides. Somebody to You by Banners is the song that's playing. It just caught my attention. You know how like the little airplanes fly over the beaches with the signs? For some reason, that's what flashed in my mind. Being offered a change in direction in terms of beliefs about what? You're going to be soon given something new to look forward to up ahead. And it feels like that's the sign that your guides are kind of pulling across the beach. That's symbolic of whatever new chapter's coming in. So when you're given the next piece of like, oh, I'm really looking forward to this, it feels spiritually related or like career related. That's symbolic of the next chapter opening up for you. That's like the first page of it. Should I move to Axis? Dropped all the cards. Should I move to Axis? I wouldn't make the decision yet. I would continue to look. It feels like there's one thing that you'd have to sacrifice going there. And it's like there may be something where you don't have that sacrifice, whether it's distance from job or not in the exact environment you want it. It's like whatever that little sacrifice is, keep looking. You may be able to find something that doesn't have it in the time frame, but if not, I mean, the Magician's saying it's not a bad option, but there could be better, is essentially how I want to word that. Message for love. It's time to put to bed there's some kind of like skill, talent, ability, idea, mindset shift. It's like it's right there. You just aren't realizing the impact it would have. Start where you are, use what you have. There's something that's like right within your grasp. It's like a little change leads to a big ripple effect. Message from my spirit guides. Message from my spirit guides. Whatever it was that feels like maybe young adulthood, it's like this drive that you've had that you haven't been able to realign with the discipline of, that is looping back around. So however that shows up, let it happen. And what I mean by that is you might find yourself really interested in a random topic. Let yourself explore that. You might find that you want to shift something in your routine. You're like, that's weird. Why would I want to shift that? But it's positive. Let yourself go with it. It's not what it is. It's like the bigger implications of what it means. It's like relighting that, I guess, like level of discipline is kind of how I want to word that. I saw a figure in my basement. I'm wondering if it was my father-in-law, someone else, or my mind is playing tricks on me. Father-in-law. Come On Get Higher by Matt Nathanson came on. Which makes me think of like higher presence, like angelic presence. And Two of Pentacles and Strength coming out would kind of be a message of like a warm tap on the shoulder kind of feeling. Someone else? No. Mind playing tricks on you. No, I feel like this was just kind of like a energetic tap on the shoulder from your father-in-law. What's the message? Energetic tap on your shoulder from father-in-law. Some things were meant to be left buried, but I will show you what matters. Energetic tap on the shoulder. It feels like some kind of confirmation. Like, think back to what you were doing at that time or around that time. It feels like a confirmation of sorts. Like, you'll know it's me because of what I'm confirming. Something around that time frame when that happened. Oh no, why did this move? Message from my guides for the rest of the month. Message from my guides. A shift in focus. A shift back inward. It feels like you're being called to shift your focus back inward. There's some kind of foundation that you've already laid the groundwork for that requires a little bit of like presence, like attending to a garden, so to speak, in whatever shift that was. Message from my guides and a song. I don't know that song. Feels Like Tonight by Doherty. You believe me? Every single lie, but I failed you this time, and it feels like tonight. Whatever you took your energy away from was the right option. Like, I almost feel like you're back and forth. Like, should I have tried to get the last word? Or should I have poured more into this? Or should I have tried to convince this person of how to see it, or that they're wrong, or something along those lines? You made the right decision by pulling your energy back. Why are people all up in my business? Trying to poke you into action. It's kind of giving reactive abuse. Like, like I poke you to see how you react so I can be like, look at the reaction. That's kind of how it feels. So that I feel better about the way that I'm acting, or maybe the way that I acted towards you specifically. Message from A. Message from A. The truth you've been avoiding is the past can't change, but the way you carry it can. What do you need to pull your energy away from in terms of like a repetitive thought that feels like comfort, but like discomfort at the same time? Like, I know that this thought pattern isn't serving me, but I can't quite put it down. Drawing attention to putting that down. Blackbird by the Beatles. Is TJ pregnant? What is the likelihood TJ is currently pregnant? I would say not yet. 8 of Wands in reverse is a delay of death in reverse life. Is that something that could be likely in the works with the star? Yes, but there may be a delay. How is my root chakra doing? I've been working on it. Energy from your root chakra. Realignment and rebirth. Realignment and rebirth from some kind of stagnancy in which you felt like you just were getting delayed good karma. So whatever stability-wise you have been working towards, it feels like that karmically can come in because you've made space for it. Like seeking stability, now I get some kind of increase in stability, that type of thing. As it's Father's Day here this weekend, can I have a message from my dad? Message from your dad. Letting go of pain doesn't mean letting go of love. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Letting go of releasing the shadow of guilt. Letting go of pain doesn't mean letting go of love. I feel like there's typically a bit of, I almost feel like it comes through as like frustration on Father's Day, like maybe words left unsaid, or maybe frustration about quickness of passing or something along those lines. Like releasing the frustration seems to be the message. Not feeling guilty about allowing yourself to approach it in a different way. Almost like you feel like you have unprocessed grief, so you need to feel sad on these days, if that makes sense. But he's saying that that's not it. Do you feel the true perpetrators in the Karen Reed case will be charged and brought to justice? They need to turn on each other. It's almost like they need to turn on each other, but because someone has higher protection, the turning on, like the gears spin but don't connect, if that makes sense. I don't know how to word that. I feel like not yet, not at this time. Because there's too much that's already been covered up. Too much, I guess, like reasonable doubt because of what was purposefully, reasonably deleted. Will my aunt's house sell for over $500K? Will it sell for over $500K? Will it sell? Yes. Will will itself for over 500K. I feel like you're going to be a little shy of that, but not, it doesn't feel like enough shy that you're like super bummed about it. It just feels like, I don't know. This is giving me like just shy of the mark. Somewhere around there, maybe just at the mark, but not, you're saying over 500, maybe not over, but right around that marker. My coworkers have been acting funny. How does CL feel about me and why the change? Trying to avoid like guilt by association type thing. Like I'm trying to keep my distance so that I can keep my balance. Someone that's respected made others feel like it's smarter to disconnect or like keep some kind of space from you specifically, or just like everyone? It feels like from you. It doesn't feel like something that was directly said though. Like more like something that people understood to mean give space, if that makes sense. Are there any messages from my friends Julie, Jake, and Colby? They passed close to each other. If we could have a collective group type message from them, what would it be? A conversation or detail from my life is playing out in yours. What is it teaching you? Okay, so if the friends Julie, Jake, Colby, if the four of you were having a conversation, they would be saying to you, release the desire to prove yourself. And you will then stop fighting with your inner child. Your inner child is done trying to prove itself. Allow yourself to just be. That would be the message from your friends. Was it who I thought I saw, heard at work? Was it who I thought I saw, heard at work? Something's not as it seems. There's like some truth and some misinterpretation in what you saw. So like it kind of is what it looks like, but there's also more to the story is kind of how that reads. I plan to do my spells utilizing the strawberry moon tonight. Oh yeah, that's right. That's tonight. Any messages? Can you bury yourself something like an intention, like in the ground? Which would make sense. Strawberry fruit grows. Maybe like, you know how strawberries have little dots on them? Write like a bunch of little goals that you have and bury it. Give yourself till, I guess, 3 full moons from now, and then take it up and see. Almost like you can show yourself your ability to manifest, but these are like little things. Like, I want to shift my mindset about this, and then watch how that unfolds, that type of thing. You said I would take the second best option. Will I be happy and prosper there? Transitionary. It feels like a transitionary phase. There's something that you're still growing through in order to find your way back to the best path for you, which is after a transitionary phase. So you're working towards it. I guess whatever lesson comes is one that allows you to maintain the peace once you attain it. Bye Backstreet Boys came on. Maybe something about releasing. What was the message I missed a couple days ago? Token and a song. Some kind of commitment. Commitment, what kind? Commit to tracing the feeling back to the root. Something is trying to show you where there may be a lack of clarity stemming from some kind of fear and leading you to the way in which you can better take care of yourself. So commit to tracing the emotion back to the root. What Spirit says about the work I have done and will do with my teacher, ED Wellness. Rewrite website, will add Etsy community social starting workshops. Is there an emotional support element that you could add in, like not giving emotional support, but understanding emotional support from a different perspective? Judgment is like maybe something you were back and forth about, and it's like, okay, add that in. So whatever you were back and forth about that maybe you haven't all the way added in yet, or maybe there's pieces of it and this is like upgrade it. This is like green light for that. Add that in, it's important. Any messages from my guides and a song? Raise Your Glass by Pink. Raise your glass if you are wrong in all the right ways. You are wrong in all the right ways. You're being given an opportunity to challenge a belief system that's outdated so that you can make better use of your mind, is kind of how this is. Trust that the frustration is leading you somewhere. Like, almost like you're going to realize, oh no, I was perceiving that incorrectly. Don't be hard on yourself about that. That was for a purpose. Any messages from my mom? Any messages from my mom? The cycle you're breaking is a story that no longer serves you. Some patterns repeat until you decide to change them. Story that no longer serves you. You have embodied the belief that boundaries are where I can love me and you at the same time. This is like you're having a graduation in that regard. Like, you're done being tested in the way that you were previously in terms of that category, because you're breaking out of the cycle, or you've broken out of the cycle. Africa by Toto, which always makes me think of someone who's going to receive a sign, like, because Africa is like, it's going to take a lot to drag me away from you. Oh, a key. There's like another piece of the message coming directly, represented by a key in some way. Any messages for me? Any messages? There's some kind of upgrade coming in a relationship. It doesn't feel romantic, and it kind of feels like someone who opens a door for you that you were trying to open. Like they show you the code for the door that you've been trying to open. I kind of want to say, don't give this person too much credit. This is something that you earned. It's just coming in the way of another person showing you it, if that makes sense. It's not them that's giving it to you. It's you that has earned it, and you're receiving it through them. Because maybe you just got back in receive mode. Maybe that's part of the last test. Should I set a long-term goal and plan out the action steps, milestones by working backwards? Long-term goal and plan out the action steps, milestones. Yes and no. I feel like you need like sooner milestones to give yourself the momentum boost, so you don't burn out by not feeling like you're receiving a reward for something that you're putting a lot of effort into, because it may throw off the like effort, discipline, equilibrium. So not that you shouldn't do that, but also make sure that there's important shorter term goals so that you can keep the momentum to reach the longer term goals. You are so welcome. What other message goes with the song? I forget what the song was, but what other message goes with the song? So King of Wands in reverse, lack of that like fierce fire. Seven of Wands holding back. Six of Wands in reverse internally. Like, you're in the calm before the storm. Trust that you're going to start to feel that flame igniting again soon. Message for my mom from her parents and a song. Message from my mom for her parents. No, message for my mom from her parents. What you're asking about is tied to something recent. Trust the connections. Trust the connections. Knight of Swords in reverse and Page of Swords would be very connected. Something coming back into balance that didn't previously make sense. The next piece of the puzzle she gets is directly from them. That'll make sense when she gets it. To help with some kind of doubt about something. She's about to get information that will alleviate some kind of doubt, and it's being released from them, is kind of how I want to word that. Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles is the song. I felt I was manifesting powerfully this morning. Any insight? Yes, because the shadow no longer blocking that path of manifestation. Healing a neglect wound. Shows up as unworthiness, numbness, or difficulty trusting others. You can be in the next step now of whatever this manifestation is, because you know that you don't need to trust others per se. Like, trusting others isn't as important as trusting your own discernment. And now that you have that, you're ready for that next step. So I guess I'd say it's not about holding back until everyone can be trusted. It's about knowing I know who to trust and who not to trust because of discernment. Does Dave's family have advice for me? Are they part of my spirit guides? Autumn brings the next step. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is time to close a chapter that's been lingering. This is time to close a chapter that's been lingering. Rolling in the Deep by Adele just started playing as well. It's like you've been in the trenches of it long enough. It's time to make the decision that's going to allow you to end the cycle. Even if that may seem a little, not in alignment with what others expect. You don't need to live up to anyone else's expectations, seems to be part of the message. And also, something's going to make more sense by the end of the year. It's like you'll have more data points to be more comfortable to make a decision. Any message for me? Let's do this. Let's do it this way. What would your spirit guides like you to be asking? What would they like you to be asking? What needs to be walked away from, released, left in the last chapter? There's something you're being urged to greenlight and commit to. It's like something's right in your grasp. It just requires you to be like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. If I fail, I fail. If I succeed, awesome. There's something that's calling to you in that way. You're being greenlit to commit to it. It feels like an idea you've already had, though, not one that you have to like think real hard to come up with. I just found out my brother is in NY living on the streets. What can I do to get him to change his ways? I feel like a lot of it has to do with the crowd that he keeps. It feels like there's at least one person who's a significantly bad influence, but there's some kind of codependency. I feel like he needs to kind of get away from that person first and foremost. That person is like they both mirror what the other one isn't doing well and like makes them do worse. Like, okay, I'm already messing up, so let me just mess up worse to numb that, right? It feels like that is first and foremost. Like, almost like no progress can be made until you get him away from that one person or that one person's influence. Message from CS. Why are they being such a hater? Message from CS. I'm dealing with stuff in my own home life and I'm projecting that externally as other people's problem. Because I don't know how to fix that. So that frustration needs to go somewhere and it's becoming a projection onto you or any other bystander. Message, advice from spirit guides. Ooh. Something's taking a toll on you, like some kind of misalignment. It's like you had it a little bit more. It feels like something you need to be doing for yourself. Some kind of self-expression, some kind of taking a chance on yourself, some kind of like investing myself into something that's going to create the next wave of change is kind of how I want to word that. It feels like needing to get back to that. Like you had it, it maybe got out of routine and you're being guided to pick it back up. Why does my screen keep doing that? Message from Chas on what happened. Message on what happened. Someone needing to not give others any more like ammo on them. Like I need to do what others are expecting of me so that they don't have more to say. So they don't try to stop me. Like it's kind of giving I don't want people to feel like I need their help or like I need them to direct me or that things for me are spinning out of control. So there's some kind of action taken to alleviate that or lack of action not taken to alleviate that. What is Judge Canone's true thoughts on Karen Reed's guilt or innocence? True thoughts. I feel like there's a very strong case on lies told about her and things withheld that would be telling more of a things withheld that if they were not withheld, it would be a lot harder to uphold lies about her. I feel like there's a but here. But I won't say that out loud. What I think and what I'm acting on are two different things. Any guidance with my significant other and a song. As Long as You Love Me by Backstreet Boys. Interesting. What playlist do I have on? One second. Oh, it's B101. I was trying to get Office. Okay. And Let It Be by the Beatles. As Long as You Love Me and Let It Be. What would it take for you to forgive this person? And can they actually give that to you? Is that something they want to do? Because until you define that and answer that, like, what would it take for the trust to be back? What would it take for this to not feel like it's a one-way street? What would it take for you to feel like you're constantly having to mold and shift and they aren't? Needing to get clear about those things and start to ask yourself, how can this person give that to me? How can I explain to them what I need and give them a chance to show me if they want to or not? Will Jay-Z and Beyonce and other high-level celebrities be exposed in the Diddy trial? Some, yes, the low-hanging fruit ones. But it feels like levels like Beyonce, it feels like they're covered. Yeah, they're covered. There is someone, it might be Jay-Z. It feels like there's someone big in that like group, I guess you'd say, that is going to be exposed. But for the most part, a lot of them feel to be covered. I had a message from Spirit. There's something in the works while doing a Jack and Lily video. Are they in or near the reservoir? I mean, how they're placed, it's two waters kind of overlapping. Isn't that kind of what a reservoir is? I feel like you're close on the, like, scenery, I guess you'd say, in terms of, I don't know if you're talking about a specific reservoir. I feel like you are. Eight of Cups would make me feel like you're like close in what it looks like, but maybe not close in the exact location. And if you gave some kind of timeline, you may be close in that timeline as well. I don't know if you said it or thought it or... Will Jay get an apartment next week? I feel like there's some kind of delay. Like, yeah, the obstacle of the delay is going to be overcome, but I feel like next week... It doesn't feel like there's paperwork being signed next week for it. Because of circumstances around my father's death, I have a hard time believing he's dead. How do I heal this? It's been over 25 years. Welcome by Fort Minor. Don't leave it up to yourself. Allow your higher self to give you the answer. Create a list of like 10 things and say to your higher self, I need closure here that I can't get any other way. Show me these 10 signs in this order, or 5 signs in this order. Give yourself some time to experience them. Allow your higher self to confirm that for you. Because, I mean, your higher self's who came out here to confirm something related to family that's been happening for a long period of time. This is taking away choice. Don't let it be your choice. Let it be my choice is kind of what this is saying to me. The Reckoning by Need to Breathe is the song that came on. How does my boss feel about me as an employee? Will I be able to get a raise by July? How does my boss feel about me as an employee? Your emotional intelligence is slightly higher than the rest of the group, or higher than the rest of the group. You stand out in that way. I feel like something needs to change in order to get that raise by July, though. Almost like you need to figure out some kind of problem the company has that other people couldn't figure out a problem for. Like, not that the raise couldn't eventually happen, but by July, I feel like is cutting some kind of timeline close, because there's some kind of, I need to prove something in order to get the raise, is how that feels. Advice and prospects for my future practice. Should I work from home or rent a room? Work from home. Rent a room. I mean, it could go either way. I just feel like because it could go either way, why not just do it from home and save the money? Page of Swords is like a solution to something. I feel like it could go either way, but at least in the beginning, do it from home until you feel like you need to branch out a different way. But I feel like you could get away with doing it from home and saving that money. However, I feel like with you, that doesn't mean to work 24 hours a day. There needs to be like a punch out time. Maybe get yourself like a literal punch out clock. Like, I'm off the clock now. I cannot work anymore today. I feel like that's the only caveat there. Should I try to reconnect with my mom's side of the family? I would test it out with one person, like whoever it is that you feel most accessible to, or maybe you had a relationship with before to some degree. I would test it out first, see how you feel, see how it unfolds. Let that be like the icebreaker, so to speak. You'll know if you should go for more after that. Transitionary phase in London or Dublin? London. Dublin. You'll have hard lessons, but lots of healing in London. Dublin kind of feels like a fog. Like, would it make sense to you if I said Dublin feels more like coasting and London feels more like healing? Is London like more like in wherever you would go in London? Is that more like city? Like I'd be out more, experiencing more? Kind of feels like that's what you need more. Am I working correctly with my clients, or what do I need to adjust in a song? Something More by Sugarland. Twice the Speed of Life. Am I working well enough with my clients? Is there some part in like the beginning of client conversation that it's almost like instead of me giving the opener, I let them give a mini opener and then I give an opener. Does that make sense? Like letting them talk before you talk shifts something. Like it shifts the actions that you're able to take in a more like either helpful or like sales oriented way, depending on what it is you're doing. How is SR doing? How is SR doing? Facing shadows. 9 of Wands in reverse is vulnerability. So I'm either like going through some kind of lesson, some kind of life review, some kind of breaking of a karmic patterning, facing to release shadows. Any timing on my soulmate, that's who I was manifesting. Okay. You're not going to love the message, but it feels like there's a piece of you that comes back first so that you are whole and can manifest a whole partnership with another whole partner. Because we manifest what we are, right? So there's a piece of you coming back, a piece of your soul coming back, a piece that feels to have been lost for some time. It feels like what you've manifested is a step forward in your career, and that is symbolic of that piece of your soul coming back. Then you're on the path to manifesting that soulmate, but I don't feel like the soulmate is the next step, if that makes sense. Message from my Nan Mac for her great-grandchildren and a song. Message from Nan Mac. Hospital bed with Stand by Rascal Flatts on the back. The love I left behind is still stronger than time, distance, or death. Love lingers where the heart is open. Message for her great-grandchildren. She's going to help guide them in their decision making so that her experience can serve them. So the sign or symbol that she will use: paint, artistry, paintbrush, paint canvas. What's that called? The paint tray thing. Almost like she's giving them this symbol that she'll show up as when she's trying to confirm that they are thinking correctly about some kind of decision. And Stand by Rascal Flatts is the song. I don't know if I said that. If I take my dog to a different vet, will it help, or will he suggest putting him asleep? Will it help? Will he suggest putting him to sleep? I think so, yeah. Will it help? No, it's going to confuse you more, and you're going to keep a lot inside and be like, who do I even talk to? Because now I feel like I can't talk to anybody because this person's telling me what I don't want to hear. So now I'm going to keep this all inside, and I'm very confused. And putting him to sleep, a decision you don't want to make to release him from some kind of pain or issues. I feel like yes, they're probably going to suggest that, unfortunately. Why is Judge Canone so blatantly biased for the prosecution, and why does Brennan keep lying or embellishing? Will they be held accountable? Oh, not justice reversed. It's too late. I already got myself into a vulnerable position, so now I need to uphold, like I need to stand 10 toes down on I'm doing the right thing, because if I don't, then it highlights how long I've been doing the wrong thing. Page of Wands in reverse. The longer you stay on the wrong train, the more expensive it is to get home. She's almost like, it's so expensive to get back home right now, and someone else is paying my fare, is kind of how it feels. Like if I head home, I have to pay my own fare. I have to reap my own sowings. Because me continuing down this path helps to hide something for someone else, and it's too late. It's giving it's too late. I've already done too much. I need to stand 10 toes down or admit how wrong I am. And I can't do that. My mom feels that there was a spiritual reason Justin went and saw Renee and Joe. Is this true? Yes, truth. Mama's intuition's never wrong. Committed to a new beginning, lacking surrender. Spiritual reason, are you going to repeat a past cycle that you've outgrown, or are you going to make a different choice? That's the spiritual reason. Message for my brother from our dad for Father's Day. For my brother from our dad. Something happened in December, January, or February. A delay. December, January, or February. I feel like this is translating like this because my birthday's in December. I feel like there's an apology for missing out on a birthday, and almost like that I'm going to energetically make it up to you, or a message specifically coming around the time of the birthday. God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. Some kind of alleviation of stressor by the next birthday. And it's almost like your dad is saying to your brother, like, that's me, that's my assistance, that's me moving some chess pieces around. General message with token. A movie clapper. The scene in which you are having to pull tricks out of your sleeve, so to speak, to like stay above water. It feels like there's like a lot of stress kind of pushing you under right now. The scene is about to change. That the director's about to yell cut, and the next scene where it's not as hard is about to unfold. Oh, I didn't get to the 4-month milestone yet. I still have a couple ahead of you for that one. I still have 4 on that list. I did that one. The funeral for grandson's 37-year-old dad was yesterday. Any message for Shani, token, or song? For grandson's 37-year-old dad was yesterday. Any message for Shani? The thing I wish I had done differently is say I love you more often. And the message of pulling the sword from the stone, pulling the truth from something that feels solid. I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. Hindsight is a gift, but love forgives the past. Trust the thoughts that seem like a warm breeze of comfort. That's him. It's like almost like there's this feeling of these thoughts really couldn't be coming from him. This is like too, like, it seems like I'm just making it up, but he's trying to bring comfort and presence like directly through the mind or through like the intuition. So trust that that's him. It's his way of saying I love you because he wishes he would have said it more. And that was the back of the card, the I Love You Angel. One Call Away by Charlie Puth. I'm only one call away. Almost like ask and you shall receive. Like ask for a word of comfort and I'll come through with a thought that's going to seem like it's too simple, but it's me. The Show Goes On by Lupe Fiasco started playing too. So like I'm still here. The show's still going. I added some extra info on energy work, hygiene, and the emotional impacts of teaching, especially for empaths. Is that it? Be more vocal and direct. Is that it? Yes, but is there a different way that you could reframe some things? Info on energy work, hygiene, and the emotional impacts. You added some info. Instead of just adding info, is there like a here's how to integrate it? Here's a different, like, work, hygiene, and emotional impacts of teaching. Maybe coming up with like an interactive video journal, like a way to integrate it. So yes, but also integrate it. What are you doing well? Managing expectations, like your time frame is correct on the unfolding and how much time you're giving yourself to complete the different pieces of it. Spirit message from my brother and a song. Peace by OAR is the song. Peace by OAR. The truth isn't just in what happened, but when. Some kind of imbalance being highlighted so you can free yourself to move forward. Look at the timing. What within the last 4 weeks has been a repetitive pattern that feels like a consistent annoyance? It's showing you where something needs to be released that's limiting you. What color is my aura? What color is my aura? It's a lot of blue in there. Blue and green is what I'm picking up on. You've walked away from shielding yourself or like dimming yourself. So it feels like heart space and throat space is in focus. Yeah, London would be more healing. Yeah. What should you consider first and foremost when making the decision? What will allow you to feel the most okay being like vulnerable? Like what will feel like a comforting breaking out of the shell? Like it's a little scary, but I know that it's going to crack me open in the right ways. Was the respected person Nate or Emma? What was said that has made CL decide to pull away? Was the respected person Nate or Emma? Emma, communication. Nate doesn't really seem to know what's going on about this. What was said that made CL decide to pull away? She said, Three of Wands in reverse. Almost like not really anything about you, but more like it's important to focus over here if you want to move forward and disconnect from over there. He's been reaching out to me more outside of work. Pulling energy back, not being very mature about it. I guess I'd say there's some guilt about like, I feel like I'm pulling my energy back and you're aware of that, so let me give it to you this way instead. Will there be 4A in the future? Will there be 4A in the future, or is the relationship done? Is the relationship done? Is the relationship done? I feel like for now it definitely needs to be. It feels like there's two different directions or two different paths unfolding here. People are being led two different ways. Maryland or Florida? Maryland or Florida? They both have their ups and downs. I guess I'd say Florida feels like it may take more work to get things up and running, but then once you have them, you can kind of coast in a positive way. Maryland, it just feels like maybe you can get set up quicker, but then there's, I don't know, it just feels like it flows better in Florida. Should I continue learning tarot? This is Damien's mom. My son took my YouTube profile. Should I continue learning tarot? Yes. I feel like right now it's very healing for you to master a specific realm of understanding your own emotional currents. So I feel like the way that you can learn it best and the main benefit it's meant to have for you, pull 2 cards every day. How are my emotions starting the day? What can I expect later in the day? You'll see how that unfolds, and that will be a way for you to really learn the feelings of the cards. Will Emma and I mend our rift anytime soon? You, Emma. It's like you're both kind of at a standstill here. You feel like she won't hear you out, and she kind of feels stubborn in regard to taking action. And that's creating an imbalance in the dynamic. Will you mend it anytime soon? Not anytime soon. It feels like it gets mended when she decides to reach back out, because until then, she's not willing to hear you. Interesting. Emma is CL's girlfriend. That's weird that she'd say anything. We don't know each other either. I don't feel like it was about you, though. It was more like something to focus on less. So maybe focusing less on like fraternization in general, as opposed to like with you specifically. You know what I mean? Yeah, not you specifically. You're not the center of what's being talked about. It's more just like a general... I don't know, maybe because of fraternization with you, something was said, like focus less on socialization and more on work type of thing is kind of the vibe it gives. And maybe because that person was just talking to you before that was said to them, they read it as you. But it doesn't feel Queen of Wands directly about you. Any messages for my son from his Uncle Tim? For my son from his Uncle Tim. What's closing now is a story that was never truly yours to hold. What's closing now? Being freed from some kind of money wound. So depending on your son's age, it's either like you're the one that breaks this money wound mindset, so like more will be possible for you type of thing, or if your son is older, you are currently breaking out of a money wound perspective. So trust whatever tests are coming are meant to increase stability, or in the future it will increase the stability. A Little Too Much by Shawn Mendes with the exit. You're exiting. You are the one that breaks the mindset of I need to overwork myself just to make ends meet. Will the new A got yesterday cause any serious problems? Cause any serious problems? No, I feel like there's some kind of clarity coming in. There's some kind of clarity that helps to continue to stabilize a foundation. Song from Sean. Song from Sean. Oh, okay. Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. The path ahead of you 8765 will challenge you, but only to help you grow. So what is the challenge that's currently in place to help you grow? Disconnecting from indecision. So the decision that feels difficult to make is allowing some kind of blocked flow to open up. So once you make some kind of decision, even though the decision in itself feels difficult, you feel to be back in flow upon making said decision. I did hear the answer about the vet, but I would be getting a third advice. Many vets suggest that when it's not truly necessary. So if that was the suggestion, would that be a suggestion that is medically necessary? No, not yet. No. Death in reverse. No. Strength. There's another option that could, like it feels like a situation making end of life more comfortable type of thing. But I would say not yet. No, there's still more time to be had. Okay, so he would then be the one that has the ability to break that perspective, or it's important for you to instill in him the perspective of you don't have to overwork yourself to make ends meet. There's a way to do what you enjoy and not have to be working your life away exhausted. So like there's some kind of option like that for him. Message from my dad. Message from my dad. You don't have to feel guilty about not visiting the places you used to go with me. If you're like back and forth, like going to maybe visit a grave or doing something that you're like, I feel like the emotional impact, it's going to be more exhausting. This feels to be him saying like, do what's best for you. Like, don't feel bad about pulling back your energy from something that's going to drain you. Pulling back your attention from something that's going to drain you, shifting the way you perceive something. It's okay to take yourself out of soil that's not serving yourself and replanting in better soil. Don't feel guilty about doing that. Free Fallen by Tom Petty is the song. How do I work with the circle and the square? How do I work with the circle and the square? Not forcing progress, allowing yourself to explore from different perspectives, trial and error, seeing what works and what doesn't. There's Charlie always says to me that engineer's job is to create something as like simplified as possible and then build on it, right? It's that concept. That's kind of what I'm getting there. Like create it where it just barely works and then improve upon it. That's how I want to word that. When will I feel like my school teacher wellness content is becoming successful? There's going to be a point where it gets promoted in some other way. So maybe this is like putting it on a different platform that starts to take off. Maybe it's someone promoting it for you in some way. It's like that's the marker. Because it opens a door that then remains open, if that makes sense. So maybe it's like social media then starts kind of becoming a consistent buyer of this, right? It's something like that. Like once the door's open, it remains open, and that's when you know you'll start going towards that successful chapter in it. Message from my dad's father. I never met him, but feel this need to know who he was. Message from my dad's father. You've made it further than you think because what once felt impossible is now just part of the story. You feel the call to know him because you've experienced the same kind of tornadoes in your life. You and your dad's father have in common the ability to think on your feet when things go sideways in a way that you didn't anticipate. It's almost like he's saying, think of those situations and you'll know me because you got your ability to do that through me. What chakras are out of alignment? What chakras are out of alignment? Heart space. Heart space feels closed. Four of Cups is like, no, I don't want to feel that. No, thank you. And King of Cups is like, but you need to master that by feeling it. That's how you care for yourself, reparent yourself, nurture yourself. Heart chakra, allowing yourself to feel. Future life insight. Future life insight. It feels like timing. Like, yes, there's a need for patience. No, there's not a need to rush in any way. But what could you dedicate yourself to sooner rather than later that would allow for some kind of additional comfort? Didn't mean to do that many. You just need to make the decision to start to implement it now. Feels like something little that adds up, like all the little droplets in a bucket create a full bucket eventually. It's like that kind of impact. Got an offer on the house. Will they accept it? Will they accept it? I feel like there's some back and forth and then some backing out. But then it feels like there's like convincibility. So it's like I'm in and then I'm out and then I need to be convinced of something. So what's the likelihood they will ultimately then accept it? I feel like there's hesitation. I feel like there's hesitation. It's like I'm struggling to be convinced of something. Will I need to get another job to keep up with the bills once I'm gone? Or will I be able to make it with one currently? Will you need a second? Or will you be able to keep with one? Could you do it without a second one? Yes. Do I feel like you're going to continually be like, maybe I should just get one. Maybe I should just get one. Maybe to catch up and get ahead, I should just get one for a little bit. Maybe I should part-time one for a little bit. I feel like it's going to be that. So I guess it's if you want to be a little bit more in the feeling of discomfort by not being where you want to be, or if you want to have the discomfort of maybe a little bit more energetically depleting yourself. It's like choose your hard type of thing. With this next chapter, what advice does my guides have for me with a token? A gift. Gift of self. Gift of presence. Despite wanting to run from reconnection with yourself. Next chapter, what advice do my guides have for me? Find a way to integrate mind, body, spirit in a way that's uncomfortable for you. Yoga is coming to mind, or like something like that puts me in my body, eases my mind, and allows me to reconnect with my spirit. That's the key. That's like the key through this. That's the gift that you need to give to yourself to make everything else make sense. Once you're grounded, you can anchor in some kind of download or step forward. Token and a message. No, with an exclamation point. You don't owe anyone anything other than no. No is a full sentence. Say it. You don't need to convince. You don't need to explain. Just say it, and then that's it. No is a full sentence. I want to renew my vows and do another father-daughter dance, but with my stepdad this time. He's been in my life since I was 5. Will my dad be mad? Will my dad be mad? It's giving I'll be mad if you don't. I'll be mad if you don't. Page of Wands in reverse, lack of exploration. 4 of Swords, putting something to bed because you feel like I'm going to be mad. But Ace of Swords is clarity. It's almost like you'll see me there. Like you'll feel my presence in the energy of this. It will feel like I'm there in spirit with Ace of Swords. Mad? No. Mad if you don't. Mad if you decide not to do it because of him, if that makes sense. Like if you just decide you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if you hold back because of him, he's like, no, don't do that. Let me pull one of these. You've made it farther than you think because your resilience is stronger than your doubts. So resilience is yes, go ahead, do it. Doubts, he's saying no doubts. Will things in California get worse with the riots? I'm assuming is what you're meaning. Feels like there's going to be a big effort to de-escalate. Like we've let this go on long enough. We have to kind of forcefully start to stop this. Will it get worse? The misinformation will get worse. The lack of actually healing the situation will get worse. The desire to just suppress it and hide it and like putting something over the fire so it goes out but not actually healing the reason the fire started. So I guess it depends on, it feels like it gets worse in different ways, but the violence gets diminished. Or like the intensity of it, I guess I should say. What color is my aura and what does it mean? Healing the heart space. It kind of feels, there's not green in here, but I'm getting heart space from that, which would be green. But there's a lot of blue. So healing the heart space by beginning to express again, green and blue. Will I have a good relationship with my new sister-in-law? Kind of feels like it's maybe a little one-sided. It can take maybe time to get effort to be reciprocated in the way that you'd like. There may be some holding back on her end that after a certain amount of time, she's like, okay, I'll budge. I'll give more effort. Will I get any income from my school wellness stuff this summer? I have a month or so of no income this summer. Have a savings that should cover what I need, but just in case. Maybe not as soon as summer, maybe not as much as you'd like, but I feel like summer gives you a lot of valuable trial and error to figure out what you need to do to turn it into money. So it's like you're setting the foundation for the money you will be making by figuring out really how to invest yourself in every corner you need to hit the ground running. Do I feel like you're going to be where you're hoping by summer? Probably not in regards to finances from it. But that's not to say you can't start to make something. Will Jay get an apartment soon and in the area he wants, and when? Not as soon as he'd hope, but it does feel like you're going to start to see like narrowing it down of choices and figuring out how to sign documents with the Queen of Swords. In the area he wants, it's going to feel... In the area he wants, no, but it feels like there's a little bit more privacy than the area he initially wanted. Like maybe the walls are thicker or the distance between buildings is greater or something. So there's some benefit like that, more privacy. I feel like there's a little bit of a delay though, like a 7-week delay of when his goal is. Gonna hop off in about 4 minutes. Oh, what the heck happened? Did my mom and Nova know each other in a different life? They have such a special connection. Did my mom and Nova know each other in a different life? So with 5 of Cups, I was getting some kind of difficult situation they were in together, in which Knight of Wands 1 inspired the other 2, 4 of Swords in reverse, continue fighting. So I said, show me connection, and Chariot is 2 opposing forces working together. So it kind of feels like they may have reversed roles, where Nova helped your mom through a difficult time in a previous life, like was the guide for... Who was I in my past life and what did I do? Kind of giving a therapist. Or like, maybe like somewhere in the motivational realm, or like it could be a religious figure with the Hierophant, like someone respected as some kind of wellness of the mind and heart, or like belief system leadership. Helped guide people to the right choices or decisions, like help people see a better path that they could go down. Let me see. Any I missed? I think I got most of these. Go back down to the bottom. Who was I in my past life? I'm going to do one more after this and then hop off. Who was I in my past life? Fought for children. Some kind of organization where you fought for children or helped children get a fighting chance or get back on their feet from some kind of bad or hard situation. Kind of gives like a housing thing, like you maybe took children in, or maybe like a transitionary type where children stayed with you to get well again and then go, something along those lines. All right, everyone, I am hopping off. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to my mods for being here. There are some text message readings. They're like cheaper, short spots available. There's a couple still up. There's some shorter 5-minute readings as well. And on Etsy, the mediumship deck is on like a 30% sale. I have Mandy coming on to record for the podcast tomorrow, so her episode will probably be up on Friday. There was a scheduling conflict with the other episode that I was supposed to have this week, so Mandy's going to be this week instead of that spot. Next week, I have a fun bonus episode where Taylor, who was on episode 2. We're going to be doing a motivational speech in the same format as the podcast. So that's going to be fun as well. I think that's all. Talk to you all soon. Thank you for being here.